Brothers and sisters, during the years of my conversion to the fullness of the truth of the Catholic faith in my early 30s, I found that one of the areas where my Protestant friends would attack church teaching was on the issue of the Catholic ordained priesthood. For Protestants, under the new covenant instituted by Christ, there is no Catholic or ministerial priesthood, as it is called, separate from the royal or common priesthood of the faithful that we just heard St. Peter writing about in the second reading. For Protestants, all Christians, regardless of office or vocation or specific calling, are simply part of the common or royal priesthood of the baptized, the new people of God, and there is no continuation of a ministerial role of making present Christ's sacrifice for atonement of sin in their belief systems. Of those baptized, some are teachers and pastors, but they reject the notion that Jesus chose from amongst the first disciples men whom he ordained, let's call it, as ministerial priests, who in a loose sense were replacing the Levitical priests of old, whose role it was to offer sacrifice for sins. Brothers and sisters, all through these weeks of Eastertide, we've been hearing from the Acts of the Apostles, the story of the growth, development and spread of the early church. In today's first reading, we reach a critical juncture, where suddenly the apostles, overwhelmed by their workload, decide to appoint specific helpers to share the ministry given to them. If we read the Gospels and the Acts of the Apostles carefully, we'll see that Jesus gave to the 12, as the apostles are called, unique authority and specific powers and responsibilities which he did not give to all the disciples or the people of God in general. In today's first reading, we see the 12 exercise their unique authority to delegate some of their work, and they then exercise their specific powers by praying and laying hands on them. In doing so, they apportion to these first deacons of the church some of their authority, power, and responsibility. My Seventh-day Adventist friend from the time of my conversion, in a sense, rejected the Acts of the Apostles, as he said it was the church inventing things not given to them by Christ. But what did Jesus give them? He gave them authority, power, and responsibility, and they then exercised it as it was needed as the church grew. As Jesus says in the Gospel, he who listens to you listens to me, and he who rejects you rejects me and rejects the one who sent me. Do they always make good decisions? Of course not. History shows us that. But even Jesus chose Judas as one of the first apostles. Parents must make decisions every day with the authority and power they have over their children. Do they always make good and right decisions? No, not always. In 2019, Archbishop Costello used his God-given authority to decide to ordain me to the ministerial priesthood. He then used his specific power to pray and lay hands on me to ordain me a ministerial priest for service to the Archdiocese. In 2023 and again in 2025, he used that same authority to apportion part of his Archdiocese to me, firstly Bencoven and then Northbridge. With it came great responsibility, the responsibility to care for the flock entrusted to me, and to use the delegated authority with care and with love execute the sacerdotal power in the sacraments for the sanctification of you, the people of God. Some people were happy with his decision to ordain me in 2019, some not. God alone will be the judge of that, and please God, I faithfully serve the people of God in accordance with my appointment. For at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, the work of the apostles, their successors, the bishops, and all the presbyters or priests and deacons with whom they've shared their ministry, is always fully for the service of the people of God, for their sanctification, instruction, and healing. Without you, the people of God, there is no church. So too, without the apostles and the successors and their appointees, there is no church. We see in the Acts of the Apostles, I encourage you to go home and read it again, the active role the people of God play in the growth and building up of the church. As St. Peter tells all the people of God in the second reading, set yourselves close to him, so that you too, the holy priesthood that offers the spiritual sacrifices which Jesus Christ has made acceptable to God, may be living stones making a spiritual house. Dear people of God, you've been called by God and his saints to go out and make Christ present once more, so that our churches are again filled to the brim. But it's not just more lay people you're called to gather. As we see in today's first reading, one of your roles as the people of God is to pray for, find and identify, and then put forward young men whom the Lord is calling to the ministerial priesthood. For as Jesus tells us in the Gospels, pray the Lord of harvest to send labourers into the harvest. Please pray for the church, pray for me, pray the Lord of harvest send labourers to the harvest, and pray that together we may present to the Lord a copious harvest.